fuck that. I did not tell the truth.
Yeah.
Wait, she never. Wait, no, 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 no. You can't embellish in this circumstance because this is pretty important.
Okay.
She never got on the stand and said, "I fucking lied."
On with
That's
the interview with the prosecutor, I don't understand how Hassan cannot get it. The fact that, have you ever in the history of life have ever heard a prosecutor being like, "Hey, I'm gonna call myself to the stand because I witnessed this interview"? No, they have officers there so that way they can call those officers to confirm what was said in those interviews.
She's
Dude,
lied.
what the
She's
fuck
given.
does that
Hold on,
even
Hassan.
mean? Can you explain to me?
I will.
No, no, no.
I will.
With a
I'll
straight
explain it to you
face,
right now.
I want you to say
I'll explain
the
it to you right
shooting
now.
victim is not credible when she is able to survive the shooting and offer testimony.
I'll tell you why right
What's
now.
going on, everybody? I'm Real Estate Randy, and today I'm going to be reacting to a video that I've been waiting for a while now. Okay, so we had a debate just the other day about the Tory Lanez case, and for those of y'all who didn't see, I did a video before. It's actually, I believe, my very first video that breaks down the timeline and some of the inconsistencies that were in the Tory Lanez case. I'll pin that at the top here in the comments. Also, so they're going to be debating over versus the woke movement, wokeisms, the woke folks, the left wokies. Okay, who do we have representing the manosphere? None other than Fresh and Fit, who are the king of podcasts when it comes to the manosphere. And on the woke side, we have Hassan Piker, who I believe is one of the top guys over there on the woke side. I know he used to be on the Young Turks and whatnot, and he debates a lot of other content creators. So they finally duked it out, okay? This is Midlife Crisis Reacts. All right, guys, so I'm not even going to take a lot of your time. I'm going to go straight into the video. I'm just going to leave you to the context behind this video. So basically what's happening is Fresh and Fit are doing a live stream at the time, and they are being added to a live stream that was DJ Academics, and he's already talking to Hassan Piker. We'll pick that up here. This is like a 3-hour or something long video, but we are going to just focus on the parts that have Hassan Piker and Fresh and Fit going back and forth. Just a little bit of context. They've had beef in the past. Fresh and Fit been trying to debate him all this time, and it just never happened. So please, before we start, like, comment, and share this video. Also, as you saw before, and it's also in the description, you can see my other social medias and YouTube pages. But let's get straight into this video because I'm excited about what's going to happen. Like I said, DJ Academics are already talking to Hassan, and Fresh and Fit is just joining that call.
Only important.
There we go.
That's her account that literally played a significant role in launching a criminal investigation.
Is that? But hold on. Again, are we arguing what we think happened, or we're
I
arguing?
don't think
what she
Hassan
proved
even
in court?
notices that
If
they're
someone
in
says
the
I lied,
call yet.
like, okay, you can play the statement all you want, but I lied.
Oh man, what's going on? Oh, it went to high
I'm
definition.
telling you the truth now. Is that person credible? Yes or no?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Okay, you're going off what Kelsey said in September, but she literally showed up. I lied. I lied. She's saying I lied then, and I'm under oath now, and I lied. So I told you, I'm telling you I lied then. What's up? Are you gonna say, okay, we're gonna just ignore the fact you're telling us you're lying, and we're
I
gonna?
don't think she never said she lied. By the way,
She did say she lied. She said she lied on her testimony. That's a big part of the reason why she took the Fifth Amendment.
Where did she say she lied on her testimony? She just said she can't remember, which is inconsistent for sure, because it was very clear when she was offering evidence to launch this criminal investigation. But I don't think she ever said I lied. She just said I can't recall.
Yo, Myron's here. We just joined in. Are you guys talking about Meg the Stallion right now? Or are you guys talking about Kelsey in particular? We literally just joined.
We're talking about Kelsey's statement.
Okay.
He's using the one from September. I'm using the fact that she got on the stand and said, "Fuck that, I did not tell the truth."
Yeah.
She never. Wait, no. You can't embellish in this circumstance because this is pretty important.
Okay.
She never got on the stand and said, "I fucking lied."
See, now here you go. Like Hassan Piker is playing semantics. Like I read in the other video, she did express that she was not telling the truth on a lot of key factors in her original statement that she did when she was being questioned. So, yeah, technically she didn't say I lied. She said I wasn't wasn't being truthful on a lot of the things I said before. Same fucking thing.
That's crazy.
Yes, she did. She got on this. These are the facts. These are the facts. This is what happened.
Okay, no. Before you say these are the facts, I want you to actually show me the facts, and not Milagro-Grams, who has been proven time and time again that she was,
Okay, Mo Gagnat, who was there in person, who watched it, who is a lawyer himself, he literally said she took the stand. First thing she did was take the Fifth Amendment. You cannot take the Fifth Amendment unless you might be criminally culpable for a crime. Then they said, listen, we'll give you immunity if you testify. Keep in mind that
you can still you can plead the Fifth regardless. Like,
no,
you can
cannot.
just refuse to testify.
Hassan, I hate to say this to you, bro, but I used to investigate criminal activity. I used to be a former federal agent. I know
you're a fed. I know.
So
I've seen.
I used to be. So I'm telling you, you cannot take the Fifth Amendment, okay, unless you're criminally culpable. That is why Gunna is not protected if they call him to testify. He has to testify.
What? No, you can definitely say I plead the Fifth. It doesn't matter if you're like criminally culpable or not. You can still refuse to testify.
No, you cannot, because you are compelled to testify, right? If you don't have a Fifth Amendment privilege.
No, it's a right. You can just say that you are pleading the Fifth, regardless of whether it's because you're incriminating yourself or not.
You can only take the Fifth if you might incriminate yourself. You cannot take the Fifth in any other circumstance. You are compelled to testify.
I love how that Hassan is like arguing with him when Myron was an FBI agent who did investigations, who testified in court, who I'm sure went to a lot of court proceedings and everything else. And he's arguing with him over what the Fifth Amendment is. And I'm not a legal expert in any means. Like I said, I know I'm not a legal expert. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not a legal expert, but from my understanding with the Fifth Amendment, you can invoke the Fifth Amendment to keep yourself from incriminating yourself. None of that says that you can say the Fifth Amendment if you just don't feel like talking, from my understanding. So I don't even know why he keeps arguing with him about this.
No, you can still, you definitely still can, in any circumstance, plead the Fifth. It doesn't matter what the truth is.
What?
Hassan, I hate to say this, bro, but I thought you were smarter than this.
You can plead the Fifth, even if you, that doesn't immediately mean that you are self-incriminating. If that was the case, then that could be used as additional evidence, like you guys are trying to do right now. But that's not the case.
But she's not the one on trial.
Like in colloquial, in like the in normie speak, we always assume when you plead the Fifth, oh, that means they're guilty, like they're incriminating themselves. That's what we say, but that's not the case. You can plead the Fifth even if you are not actually incriminating yourself. That's kind of the point of being able to plead the Fifth.
Okay, then you know what? Let's use your logic, Hassan.
Be used against you as evidence.
Let's use your logic then, Hassan. If that was the case, why did her lawyer fight tooth and nail to get her immunity?
Facts.
Ooh. There we go.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
See, and this is the part that like really irritates me about this shit, is because like Hassan keeps acting like he don't understand simple fucking A, B, C, D, follow the yellow brick road, right? I'm not. If I have nothing to concern myself with what I'm about to say, I don't need immunity. I'm not gonna ask for immunity. My lawyer's not gonna fight for immunity. So when he asked me that question, why did her lawyer fight for her to get immunity? And he goes, I don't know. Because one can logically break it down and be like, all right, they're asking for immunity because there might be a situation here that could possibly lead her to now becoming liable or guilty of some crime or whatever. Her saying she could have been talking about maybe the gun was hers, an unregistered firearm in California is a crime, right? So she might want immunity for that. And it's not saying that she's the shooter. It's just saying she could have had done something illegal within the story that she's about to tell, revisiting what happened that night. That's all I'm saying. I just can't stand the way that he's acting like that doesn't make any sense. Like, her pleading the fifth is irrelevant. I don't know.
Bro, just take the L. Just take the
This
L.
is the 14th of December. So this is Tory Lanez and Megan trial day 3. Kelsey takes a stand. She admits to lying to prosecutors about everything she told him in
So
September.
you're reading No Jumper right now, who literally, by your accounts, got DJ Academics. They jumped the gun and literally posted about the verdict coming in before the verdict had actually come in. You can't just use their one-sided assessment of the events that took place. You originally went to Megan Cuniff. I'm watching your stream right now. You couldn't find the actual thing that you wanted out of her, so you went to find the No Jumper tweet. If you give me Megan Cuniff's actual court reporting, then we can have a conversation.
I got it.
It's like you citing yourself. Come on.
Hassan, you're missing the point here that Kelsey, right, changed her story. She went in and did an interview with actually the prosecutors, not even law enforcement, which is another big red flag. But she went ahead and did an interview in September.
Wait, say that. What's the red flag?
The red flag is she did an interview with the prosecutors with no law enforcement there, which is a huge red flag because prosecutors are not supposed to be direct witnesses in witness testimony when you're doing a criminal investigation. There's supposed to be an investigator there. And the reason why there wasn't an investigator there is because the lead detective, Stogner, right, he has some issues with administrative
you can
leave.
definitely have prosecutors directly question witnesses.
No,
wait, what?
You need an investigator there. They can't be the only witnesses because they're the ones prosecuting the case. It's a conflict of interest. You need a sworn law enforcement officer there conducting and leading the interview. Prosecutors can be present.
Prosecutors are literally law enforcement officers pretty much, functionally. So I don't know. Like, you're making it seem like they're operating on different teams here.
Yes, they do work together. However, you need an agent, a detective, some type of police presence there to do the investigation and to do the interviews, bro. And that's a big red flag.
Can I just address something really quickly?
Go ahead.
I love chat being like, no black voices. Hassan didn't want a black voice in that circumstance. Bro, No Jumper, Adam 22's operation, we're calling that a black voices now? Really? Halo Boom? Is that what you're saying in the chat? Dumbass. Shut the fuck up.
He likes to do this and just like switch up shit when in the middle of stuff.
There's problems with Kelsey's situation.
Okay, sorry, go on.
There's problems with Kelsey's situation because, number one, she was interviewed by prosecutors only. There wasn't an investigator there.
Here's the thing, too, with this conversation right here going on with the interview with the prosecutor. I don't understand how Hassan cannot get it. The fact that have you ever in the history of life have ever heard a prosecutor being like, hey, I'm going to call myself to the stand because I witnessed this interview. No, they have officers there so that way they can call those officers to confirm what was said in those interviews. A prosecutor cannot use themselves to confirm that. That's like if you were there, you were in the middle of something and say you're supposed to get a job done and it didn't happen, but you said, hey, look, I'm my own witness. It got done. No, there would be another third party there to confirm that it was done. That's all he's trying to say there. And Hassan's like, no, a prosecutor can do an interview. Yes, a prosecutor. See, this is the one thing that he does. He focuses on one detail and then argues that detail. He's focusing on the fact that Myron said that a prosecutor cannot conduct an interview. He heard period, end of sentence there. But he's saying without an investigator there. All he's focusing on that, Myron said that prosecutors can't do interviews. That's a lie. That's a lie. They do interviews all the time. Like, it's you'll see. It's very irritating. Don't worry. We're not going to watch this whole thing. I'm going to skip through some of the lows. But this Fifth Amendment part was crazy to me.
There, which is a problem in itself. And then second, she switched her story up. She said, hey, Tory did XYZ and, made him criminally culpable. And then when she came in to testify, she immediately took the fifth. And then her defense attorney said, we need immunity. They tried to get immunity where she'd be covered all the way, but they were only able to get use immunity. Because obviously to get transactional immunity, which would be her protected all the way, that is very difficult to get. You would need a DA signature to get that. And obviously they're in the middle of trial. They don't have time to go back to the DA saying, yo, we need the signature. So we're like, listen, we'll give her use immunity. We're on the record. We're not going to prosecute her.
So just in case you was wondering, the transactional immunity and use immunity, the difference is if she gets the transactional immunity, they cannot go after her at all, even if she admits to a crime or whatever, from my understanding. And use immunity means that, yes, you have immunity for what you say, but if you say something that can incriminate you, we now can investigate you. We just can't use your testimony. We won't be able to use your testimony where you admit that you did something illegal. But now we can still can go after you and find another way to prove that you did whatever crime you admitted to.
That's when she felt comfortable to go ahead and testify after that, pretty much. So if she wasn't culpable, why would she fight so hard? Why would her defense attorney fight so hard to get her use immunity, bro? And you can only take the fifth, right? You can ask any attorney this. Any defense attorney will tell you this. You can only take the fifth when you might be giving testimony that might incriminate yourself. But if you're not necessarily giving testimony that's going to incriminate yourself and other people, then you're compelled to testify. That is why Gunna cannot assert the Fifth Amendment privilege if they call him to testify in the YSL trial. If Young Thug goes to trial, they're going to call Gunna on, and he cannot claim Fifth Amendment. He will have to testify. That is a part of his plea deal.
Okay. So I can't speak on why she no longer wanted to offer her testimony. Okay. She did get granted immunity. I'm pretty sure not the full blown immunity. If she was like to go up on that stand and be like, I actually shot someone. I was the one who shot.
Well, if she did say that, she would be
then
protected.
all of a sudden your case falls apart. Of course, the prosecutor's not going to fucking do that because someone could very easily fall out of favor with the victim, like Kelsey and Megan did, and then turn around and be like, you know what? Actually, I'm the one who shot it, but guess what? You guys gave me the fucking immunity. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Well, she could have went on the stand and said that though, because they gave her use immunity, which means her testimony that was given in that circumstance could not be used against her. However, that does not mean that law enforcement can't go interview other witnesses and build a case.
Inconsistencies. She could have very easily said, "I am here to tell my truth. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, and I was wrong originally." She didn't even say that.
Yeah, because she knew before she was lying. She got on the stand, bro, and said, I lied.
But you just explained that she got immunity from the original lie that she had told. If you're claiming that she originally lied.
Yes, she originally lied, and she didn't want to give testimony because there's a good chance.
Admitting that she would not have been liable under perjury in that regard because she had gotten immunity to offer her true testimony in that circumstance.
This is what's crazy to me when he used perjury. Like, her original conversation with the police officers was not under oath. Therefore, perjury has shit to do with what he's talking about. Now, she came back and told the same story that she told in that original interview. And then it was found out that she was lying. That would be perjury. And for somebody who does talk like he knows what he's talking about, it's crazy to me. Like, that's a representation of his actual knowledge of what the fuck he's talking about.
No, what I'm saying is that she could have been found. There's a bunch of things that they could have hit her with. There's a bunch of charges she could have got hit with.
Like what?
Which is why,
like,
which is
like shooting.
Which is why she took the Fifth Amendment.
You don't trust no jumper. I got my man. I think he writes L.A. Times. James Quealy. This is Kelsey on the stand. Our interview that they were trying to refresh her memory many times with, she says our interview was not 100% truthful.
Yeah.
Feel good?
Okay.
Does that make you feel good, brother? He literally said, I'm not telling you. He said, whatever you're citing, I did not tell the truth. She basically said it and referred to it and kept almost looking at her lawyer to say, hey, if I answer this, am I getting fucked up legally? and they did many sidebars. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, her interview not being 100% truthful, especially when there's additional circumstances involved in there, like whether or not I'm not familiar if she got asked the question about the $1 million that
she did get asked
Tory
that
Lanez
question.
offered
She
them or something
declined it.
like that.
She did get asked,
but
she declined it.
there are plenty of additional instances in that interview. You are the one who's inferring the parts that you believe is not truthful from that interview, and she still absolutely ended up getting. Just read the rest of that. What's the rest of the quote?
We're not trusting no jumper, but we definitely trust the LA Times.
Yeah, of course I trust the LA Times, and I trust court reporters.
So let me read it.
You yourself admitted that no jumper got. So
Okay.
if no jumper got, and fucking literally.
Okay, forget no jumper. Harris says she struggled with postpartum depression and a recent death in the family, and her mind isn't here right now. She also denied Lanez offered her hush money, which Megan alleged he did to the tune of $1 million. So she denied
the exact quote from her, by the way, wasn't an immediate denial. She literally said it wasn't exactly the way that was presented. I know what I'm talking about because I know what quote that was. The reason why we're bringing this up, by the way, is because she has postpartum depression now. She has a recent death in the family now. If anything, her evidence or her additional information that she's going to offer currently now and not back then is going to be less conclusive.
Wait, what about this one? Critically, she wouldn't confirm she saw Lanez with the gun, which she said in the recorded interview, or that Lanez threatened to shoot her. She won't confirm it in court. She's like,
she wouldn't
ask her.
Yeah, that doesn't. Wait, what do you mean? That doesn't mean anything. She already has.
Oh, you keep referencing.
Yes, she literally said yes because. You and I both know she went on the stand and said, I can't recall anything. I have postpartum. I'm depressed. I can't recall anything is basically what she said. And then she pled the fifth. That doesn't mean that she fucking absolutely lied. That's the reason why they played the whole interview.
In a court of law, if any type of witness or victim can't recall their statements and can't even affirm to it, right? Keep in mind, she's now under oath. She already acted weird with the, hey, I needed like immunity of this and third. She can't co-sign the majority of what she said in a goddamn interview, right? You think that the jury should be like, okay, let's just believe her. Really? Come on, brother.
Well, first of all, the jury did believe her, ultimately. The jury believed Megan Thee Stallion, who also is a witness in this circumstance. The jury also believed what she said originally, which is important to address in this circumstance. And the jury, of course, did not take into consideration that she pled the fifth, especially because she had the opportunity, given an immunity, to go back and correct the record and refuse to do so while simultaneously admitting that currently, right now, in this very moment, was not likely to give a clear-cut version of the events, considering her postpartum depression and a recent death in the family. That's what I'm stating. That's the reason why the jury deliberated in the way that it did.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, but you're missing a point here, Hassan. See, here's the thing. Tory gets that Fifth Amendment privilege to not testify and not being used against him. Kelsey does not. Kelsey's a witness in the case. She's not the one on trial. So if Tory asserts...
I know, but you can still say some dumb shit or potentially think that you're incriminating yourself, or ultimately say,
please let me finish.
You have the right to plead the fifth.
Please let me finish.
You have the right to plead the fifth regardless of whether or not you're actually incriminating yourself or not. You just have that right. That is a right that you have.
You're just rambling, bro.
I'm telling
Hassan really believes that he's telling, like, spitting these facts out here, and that's why he continuously, you'll see throughout this debate, he continuously interrupts Myron, especially when he's in the middle of explaining to him. And I realize that Hassan does not listen to understand or hear you. Like, he just listens for specific information that he wants to attack. And then if he doesn't have something valid to attack, then he just like picks something completely different that has nothing to do with anything. So,
telling you, Tory gets the privilege of them not being able to judge him for taking the fifth. Kelsey does not, because the Tory is the one that is accused. Okay? That is the reason why. So when Kelsey doesn't get that same Fifth Amendment privilege to that level as Tory, because he's the one that's actually being charged in a criminal case in a criminal court of law in the United States. So Kelsey doesn't get that, which is why she was like, I need immunity if I'm going to talk. because she is compelled
Okay.
to testify. That is why she asked for immunity in the first place.
Look,
Go ahead.
you said that you have to be guilty to plead the fifth. That is not the case.
You don't have to be
Just
guilty.
for the record.
You have
See what I'm saying? He hears what he wants to hear. He never said you have to be guilty. He said that you could be concerned that something you say could cause an investigation on you or make you look guilty for something. He never said anything about you have to be guilty to plead the fifth. That's not what he said at all. No, I don't know, man. This guy, he gives me headaches.
to be potentially liable, right, from a criminal standpoint to invoke the Fifth Amendment. Any
Yes,
statement
an
that you may give
innocent
can incriminate
witness
yourself.
May validly claim the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. If you are an innocent witness, you can still plead the fifth. That is precisely the reason why we look at pleading the fifth as a right that people have and not as an indication that that person is somehow criminally liable, which is what you guys are doing right now. Okay?
You can only take the fifth
the entire
if you can
concept
incriminate
behind
yourself.
pleading the fifth would be null and void if we automatically assume that that person is fucking guilty every time they pled the fifth.
No. Pleading the fifth isn't
No.
an implication of guilt. However,
But you are making it seem as though it is.
No. Well, I mean, one could take it as that, but if you have zero conflict with what's being asked of you when you're either subpoenaed and you're on the stand, you got to answer. You can't just magically say I plead the fifth and then say the judge says to you or you and your attorney, hey, okay, let's figure out why you're pleading the fifth. And you're like, no, just because I want to. They're not going to just be like, okay, you got it. Like,
Here,
right.
I'll tell you the Supreme Court decision that the justices made on this regard, because like people do plead the fifth sometimes when they're innocent, or they might be afraid, okay, of one reason or the other. It's normal. The criminal justice system is fucking ruthless, right? In the 2001 Supreme Court case, the justices noted that the right against self-incrimination provided by the Fifth Amendment in Ohio versus Reiner, the court case that I was telling you about earlier, okay, that the Fifth Amendment protects the innocent as well as the guilty. The court added that a witness may have a reasonable fear of prosecution and yet be innocent of any wrongdoing. The ruling noted that innocent people might be ensnared by ambiguous circumstances. So her right to plead the fifth in this circumstance was given to her and was protected by the Supreme Court specifically for situations exactly like the one that she was entangled in, where she could have very easily been fearful. She could have very easily been fearful that she might be
fearful of prosecution. Now, granted,
but she committed crimes. That's because she committed crimes. She committed crimes.
No. But you're still doing that. But remember, you're still doing that. You're still claiming that she is guilty because she pled the fifth.
See, look, this is what I'm talking about. He kept saying he never said she was guilty. She committed crimes. She does admit that she basically assaulted, got into a fight with Meg Thee Stallion, which could be prosecuted. I don't know how the laws are in California. Some states, like, you don't have to press charges. They'll just, if the police want to charge it or the ADA wants to charge it, they can charge it. So she did commit a crime, technically. I mean, you can't just go fighting people and shit. So, you know, she could have possibly just been wanting to have it for that purpose alone, because she's going to tell them about the fight and she doesn't want to get charged for an assault and battery or whatever. So it could be that, you know, no one said she was guilty of shooting Meg Thee Stallion.
If you're saying she's,
but you are a Fed, so I'm not surprised that you think that. But anyway, let's go on. Let's move on.
You're saying she's fearful of prosecution, right? You're literally alluding.
I want you to notice how he went straight to like talking shit. Like, you know, once he felt defeated, he started just talking shit instead of like attacking the argument. So that, I mean, they go on about the Fifth Amendment for a minute. I'll put the link to the whole thing for you. All right. Let's see here. Let's go. Let's see what else. Okay, so now they're talking about the apology.
So wait, you think he's apologizing because like an altercation happened where like Kelsey shot Megan, right? That's what you were
No,
claiming.
because they
you think
fist
that's a
fought.
normal thing to
Yo,
apologize
Hassan,
for?
Hassan, it's
He's
because
the
he
person who
exposed
added the
the
gas to the
truth.
whole situation for the shooting.
Because like, look, if I was involved in a situation, a love triangle, as you claim, right? And the girl that was with me shot the other girl, I would not text like, I'm sorry to everyone involved. I'd be like, that was crazy. Remember when that bitch shot you? That was wild, right? Like that's what I would text. I think that's what
you're
normal
operating
humans
on
would text in that
2020.
situation.
Hassan, you're operating on 2020 hindsight. You got to remember, these are women. They're emotional. They're drunk. It's late at night. They just saw him trying to go ahead and get with Kylie Jenner. Obviously, they're mad, so he exposes.
I think Tory Lanez was very emotional.
I mean, you can say that. You can say that. That's fine. But my point is this: everyone's drunk
too,
and emotional, and right. And the other thing too, Kelsey. Right?
See, he's not
he
even
exposes
listening.
Meg Thee Stallion for having sex with men that she had originally hooked up with Kelsey. So that is how the argument ensued. So we don't know definitively if he was apologizing for shooting or for putting out Megan's information to Kelsey and
that's like a
embarrassing
much
her.
bigger thing that you would mention. You'd be like, that was crazy when Kelsey shot you, right? Because only one person said.
That would be foolish to do that,
One
though,
person
Hassan. Let's
shot
be
another
honest. I mean,
person.
he's not going to sit there and be like, yo, that was crazy that Kelsey shot you. No, he's going to say, yo,
So here's the thing, man. Since we're skipping around, I'll give you the basic rundown. Basically, what he's saying, because he apologized, he's obviously apologizing for the shooting. Okay, but he does never mention the shooting. And what Myron is trying to explain to him is that it's he could be apologizing for a number of things. So therefore, we can't automatically conclude that it's because of the shooting. It's funny to me because if you notice how when they were talking about the Fifth Amendment thing, and Myron was talking about, okay, you know, you called the Fifth Amendment because you possibly committed a crime. And Hassan was saying, no, because you can't just assume because they said the Fifth Amendment that they were guilty of something, right? But it's funny now that the situation is flipped, and he's automatically assuming that he's apologizing for shooting Meg Thee Stallion. And when Myron is trying to explain to him, there's a number of things that he can apologize for. Number one, he could be apologizing for flirting with Kylie in front of him when they know they have kind of a sexual past. Number two, he could be apologizing for her for outing her about the fact that she's basically sleeping with all of her homies, Kelsey's ex-lovers and shit. He could be apologizing for the whole entire situation, not saying that he shot her. Because think about it. If the fight ensued after I just told you, hey, Kelsey, man, your homegirl out here basically fucking everybody that you've been fucking after you fucked them, and she's doing it behind your back, and that causes a fight, and that caused her to get shot. Let's say Kelsey shot her for this purposes. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm not saying that she did. Let's say for these purposes she did. I would call me like, damn, you know, I'm so sorry for all the shit that just happened, man. That's crazy. You know, I wouldn't be like, I'm sorry that Kelsey fucking shot you. Like, why would I apologize for something she did? I'm apologizing to you because I feel that I was a catalyst that might have caused a situation because I volunteered some information that, you know, made y'all get into a fight. That's all he was trying to explain to him. But Hassan's like, no, if you're going to apologize, wouldn't you apologize for the big thing that happened? Like, why would you apologize for all this other stuff? That doesn't make any sense. And you'll see throughout this interview, if you check out the whole thing, where he does that a lot. Like, he never sees the big picture. He sees this one little thing. It's like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? But if you actually, you know, step back 5 feet and see the bigger picture, you can actually understand, like, oh, okay, yeah, that does kind of make sense.
Yo, if he apologizes, we don't know what he apologized for specifically.
So you're in a situation, you're in a love triangle, you get a lot of women, right? I feel like, or
Yeah,
you talk about it all the time. You're in a love triangle. It happens all the time. One of the girls shoots the other girl. You're going to be like, I'm sorry. That's how it happened. You wouldn't be like, how fucking insane was that this crazy bitch shot you?
Conversations that he had.
Women, am I right? That's probably what you would say.
Right? Let me take this.
He's in custody and he's been recorded over the jail phone. Why do you think he say?
Why do you think Kelsey texted 911? Tory shot Meg.
So now you're moving off the argument. Are we talking?
No. I'm asking you. I legitimately want to know, why do you think Kelsey originally texted that?
If you can see this point, because you're saying what the text from him should be, I'm telling you why it's not like that. He's in.
No. But tell me that. Just I want to know what you mean. Okay. Why do you think Kelsey texted 911? Tory shot Meg.
Hold on. So by us moving to this, and I'm gonna answer it. I'm feeling like you're conceding that other point because what you're saying would be idiotic if you know you're calling off of a jail phone to say, "Hey, isn't it crazy when you got shot by so and so?" You might as well give a fucking statement. Okay,
and not only that, Hassan,
because that's
Okay,
stupid.
so you
gotta
think Tory
remember,
was protecting
he's
Kelsey?
a rapper, bro.
Saying,
He's
right?
a rapper. He cannot snitch. That is career suicide. Of course, he's not going to go ahead and incriminate someone else. He's a rapper, bro.
Answer the other one because I have an answer for the other one.
He can't do that.
Because
Okay, that's why. Okay, got it.
Hassan, every rapper that gets caught cooperating with the police or snitching or doing anything that might put someone else in jail, their career is ruined. So of course he's not going to go ahead and text her.
I don't know if their career is ruined. They can still go on DJ Academics' broadcast like Takashi does.
Okay,
all the
man.
fucking
Are we
Another
gonna
shot
get to the
fired
facts
once
here, or are we
again.
going to try to make side jokes? The point is,
Keep track of how many times he just
rappers
attacks them and like talk shit about them, because you're gonna see at the end here how when Fresh talks shit back, he starts calling him a little kid and stuff.
snitch, bro.
He's like no enough.
What the?
Yeah, this guy's not qualified to talk about the culture or anything like that, bro. Dude, your facts, bro, are non-existent, bro.
Like you're
we can try to
deflecting
argue.
crazy. You're just deflecting. I'm
Bouncing.
telling you why it's
I
not
asked you a simple
probable.
question, and nobody
I
was
just
able to
answered
answer
it.
this question.
I answered it.
It's a super simple
Tory-
question. It's
Tory
so direct.
cannot
Why
incriminate-
did Kelsey text 911? Tory shot Megan. If that's not the case, it's 3v1 now. By the way, holy fuck!
I'll answer that question, but I'm going to just assume that because you diverted, you basically like you bowed out of that other point.
I mean, you can assume whatever you want to,
Okay,
but just give me the answer. I just want to know. I'm like genuinely interested in your perspective.
Now I'll answer that question, but I really could just ask a question to answer, but I'll just answer myself. If I was the best friend of someone who just got in a drunken fight and I unfortunately shot at my best friend, okay, she got hurt. If I'm the closest person to her team, you think I'm going to text her team, hey, I shot Meg? Come on now. Would you text that?
So in that situation, you think a text message is necessary, right? Like you're saying that the text message is necessary. She's belligerent enough to fucking grab a gun, shoot Megan Thee Stallion, but then also somehow has it all together. I guess like the adrenaline kicked in and all of a sudden she just like remembered the consequences of her actions and decided to very cleverly and devilishly text this ruse, even though Tory Lanez on Instagram comments has also said that Kelsey had not shot Megan Thee Stallion. And it like, so clearly like no one has said Kelsey shot Megan Thee Stallion. That has never even been brought up except for the blogosphere.
Are we going to hold what Tory said on Instagram?
See, this is what I'm going to say about that whole thing. Once again, he's going to use whatever he wants to use to make it sound like he's making sense. The same thing I talked about in the last video. Like, I get it. Yeah, it's weird that she texted that. But, yeah, it could be to protect herself, to get the plot already lined up. And he's like, oh, well, you know, she's drunk and she's belligerent and all this shit, but she put it all together to fucking send this text message out. My question was, I looked at that text message and they quoted it, and if it's quoted the way that it's actually written in a text message, I don't know about y'all, man, but when I'm sloppy drunk, I don't use punctuations. I don't fucking like the text message was written pretty fucking deliberate. And usually when I'm drunk, you know them nights when you get fucking drunk as shit, and then you look at your text messages the next day and you text some shit that you probably shouldn't text. And on top of that, like the punctuation and the spelling is all kinds of fucked up. She wrote the shit perfectly and used punctuation. Who the fuck uses punctuation? She shortened up words, and you know, I don't know, man. I mean, that's just my logic. I would think that there would be some grammar issues if like it was a panic or a frantic of like this nigga just shot her. But that's just my opinion.
We don't even know if that's him controlling his page. We're going to hold him liable for that, but we can't hold Meg liable for saying out of her own mouth a different story 5 times.
Well, I mean, it was used. It was used, from what I understand, when an LAPD detective Warren Eberhard took the stand to testify that Tory Lanez's verified IG account once commented on a theory that Kelsey was the shooter, saying that's not true.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said that. Now, this incident happened 2 years ago. They asked that same detective, when did you see that message? Did you check the IP address of where it came from? Because you could have an Instagram account and somebody could access it from Zimbabwe. Somebody could access it from Costa Rica.
So you think a hacking happened? That's why Tory Lane, or you think Tory Lanez is So Tory Lanez' interns are fighting against Tory Lanez, is what you're saying?
Mid trial, when Mo went live, Tory Lanez's Instagram joined the live. You think Tory's in court joining live? He has people.
No, I don't. But do you think someone with access to Tory's? Why is someone with access to Tory Lanez's Instagram account defending defending Kelsey?
Here's my point. I'm not saying you can't use that as some type of proof, but number one, you saw it a week ago before trial when you had 2 years to see it, right? Number two, you made no fucking effort to try to at least go out of your way to prove that he's the actual one that posted it.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they needed that because ultimately it wasn't Kelsey that was on trial. It was Tory Lanez on trial because, again, going back to the main thing, the 5 points that the prosecution laid out was pretty open and shut. Oftentimes, cops not very good at their jobs. Okay,
no, it's not.
I can't talk about feds. I don't know how Myron was, but clearly he wasn't that good because now he's doing a fucking PUA
another
podcast.
attack.
However,
However,
you're
gonna attack the arguments, or you're gonna just attack the person.
That's all you do. It literally does seem like they had a lot of evidence, right? Like, I mean, holy shit, they had the witness who survived.
Petition more than you. Brother, you gotta run for office. Like the way you're able to duck out of shit.
What do you mean? There's five.
Oh man, let's skip ahead here. As you can see, they're talking about a IG post that Tory Lanez did, but just like Academic said, they never even verified who posted it, the IP address, none of that stuff. So I don't think they used it in a way to like against Tory, but they did bring it up. So let's go. Let's see what this one is.
They would probably say you shouldn't even make the call.
Yeah. And also,
whether you have remorse or not.
And also, Lasan, I know you don't know a culture like that in terms of like hip hop and the whole rap industry. However, Tory, if he snitched in the very beginning, this will all be settled. But he didn't say anything because he knew his career is on the line. Now, regarding that as well.
Well, his career is still on the line because, you know, he didn't really have a career. Let's be real.
Another attack on somebody again.
Popping off, but
all he do is talk shit.
What are you talking about? He's huge.
Oh, I mean,
Hassan, just because you might not listen to someone does not necessarily negate the fact that they're
can I
top
ask
artists.
Your co-host, how old is he?
This shit right here.
How old you think I am, bro?
What does that have to do with anything?
I have no idea. I have no idea, but like you said, Lasan, so I assume like 14.
Is that your name, bro?
Here's the thing, man.
Yeah, no, bro, come on, dude. You are a whole grown-ass man fucking using memes that 14-year-old white boys use on the internet. That is fucking embarrassing.
See what I'm saying?
Not to like this.
So he finally said something back to him, and now he's doing this whole fucking talking shit thing. Like, you've been talking shit about them this whole entire time. He finally made one little joke, and you're like, you're a 14-year-old little child. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
That Tory is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's ambiguous. It isn't clear. Then on top of that, we got gunshot residue not only on Tory, but we have it on Kelsey as well. Not to mention that Kelsey and Meg Thee Stallion got in a full-on fledged fist fight prior to the shots going off. That is a fact that's been confirmed by Kelsey, and it got confirmed by Sean Kelly. Kelsey downplayed and said it was just a bump. However, they were 100% fist fighting to the point where a pendant was found on the floor.
Yeah, we already talked about Sean Kelly's testimony being inconsistent. I don't know if you were there for that, but
yes, but here's the thing: Kelsey also
gunshots, or was he just like
fair enough
on the fucking street, just watching the street for no reason, and then
Kelsey
happened to be a scuffle
also admitted they fought though. So that's what solidifies it. Kelsey also admits they fought. She downplayed and said it was just a bump, but the evidence shows otherwise. Your nail and everything. If someone just bumped you, your nail wouldn't fall off and your pendant. They were full-on fist fighting.
I mean, look, I don't know the exact details. You know,
That's the problem. You don't know the details, and you're
See what I'm
talking.
saying?
That's the problem.
Yo, Hassan.
No,
Hassan.
well, ultimately, I know
You're out of your
what
wheelhouse here,
we
Hassan.
discussed in court
Respectfully, with
case,
all due
and I
respect, you're out of
know
your
that
wheelhouse
there
here.
was enough evidence.
You're out of your wheelhouse here.
Look, you can say that all you want, but it doesn't seem like it, especially with this 3v1 situation. And you guys still look really silly. Ultimately,
What if I
they
said
might be
that's silly?
saying something different in your chat right now, but you know,
What is silly?
outside of your hug box, I
what is
doubt
silly?
that is what's
What
going
is silly
on.
about what I
Now,
said?
having said
Pinpoint
that,
what I said that's silly.
having said that, how is this your wheelhouse? I do not know. I mean, you're a Fed and you don't even fucking understand how the Fifth Amendment works. So maybe that's good that you're no longer a Fed.
He's gonna bring this
Here's
shit
the
up
thing, bro.
again.
The Fifth Amendment only.
And I'm gonna tell you, man. Later on in the stream, they do bring on an actual lawyer, and he confirms that Myron is correct in the way that he utilizes that. Right. We don't need to
The
hear them
shooting
arguing about that
attempt.
again.
Megan's not
saying,
credible,
I was
Hassan.
shot by this
Megan is
person.
not credible, though.
But that's crazy. How can you say that?
Okay.
That's a,
She's.
Dude.
Let's go a little bit back.
In the interview to show that she was not under duress when she gave it. But what did she say in court? She said if she was feeling uncomfortable, it was because of the pressure from the prosecutor. I get it. You are selective with what you're going to believe.
That's another part that I spoke about in my other video where they directly asked her, "Hey, do you feel like you're getting pressure from the defense?" And Kelsey was like, "No, I don't feel that." She was like, "Do you feel like you're getting pressure from anybody?" And she was like, "Yeah, I feel like I'm getting pressured by the prosecutor." That's what he's talking about there.
And
no,
you know,
I'm just telling you. No, I'm not selective with what I'm going to believe. First of all, you're doing the exact same thing that you claim I'm doing, right? Like you refuse to, you omit certain details, or you have no answer for certain details, or when pressed on it, you say, "Oh, it's probably because he's a rapper." Like that's not even a good defense in any meaningful way. Like
no, that's
there are
definitely
so many pieces of evidence in this entire process. There are so many pieces of evidence in this entire process. From number one, the witness surviving the shooting attempt.
Megan's
and
not
saying,
credible,
"I
Hassan.
was shot by this
Megan is not
person."
credible, though.
But that's crazy. How can you say that?
Okay.
That's a,
She's
dude,
lied.
What the
She's
fuck
given.
does that
Hold on,
even
Hassan.
mean?
Instead
Can
of,
you explain to me?
No, I will.
No.
I will.
With a
I'll explain
straight
it to you
face,
right now.
I want you to say
I'll explain
a
it to you right
shooting
now.
victim is not credible when she is able to survive the shooting and offer testimony.
I'll tell you why
That's
right now.
crazy.
I will tell you why right now. She gave conflicting information on her Instagram lives with the Gail Knight interview versus what she testified to. On top of that, the prosecution gave a different story on opening statements than she did when she was on the stand, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Meg is not credible. She openly lied about her sexual past.
Within what the prosecution said and what Megan Thee Stallion said.
I will cover that here in a
Not
second because I have it in my
Instagram lives and
notes.
shit.
But let me tell you that don't worry, I already took notes because unlike you, I actually watched this case and I know the details. You don't. So here's the difference.
Yeah, I would. Go ahead. Well, if I don't know any of the details of the case, why does it still look like you're having a hard time fucking convincing anyone of what happened? Other than saying,
the only person that
crazy,
having a hard time being convinced is
emotional,
you.
But also somehow Kelsey, also being a woman, may or may not have shot Megan Thee Stallion, but also had the wherewithal in that moment to like fucking turn around and text 911. Tori shot Meg.
To her bodyguard. To Meg's bodyguard, yes. To Meg's bodyguard, she sent that.
Yeah. Okay. So why did she say that?
Dude, there could be a multitude of reasons as to why she would say that. Maybe she was criminally culpable and wanted to point the finger at someone else.
She was hysterical enough and drunk enough to shoot Megan Thee Stallion off of like some random bullshit, okay? Because like you say, or at least academics said that it was random bullshit. Like Tory Lanez would never shoot Megan Thee Stallion over like being called short or being called not popping.
We'll talk about this in a second. First, let's talk about how Meg is not credible, okay? Meg is not credible because she omitted a critical factor, right, on a public interview, which the reason how she got on a public television interview in the middle of a criminal case is beyond me.
Facts.
But the point
I don't
is
understand
that
how could she talk about
I
this
did not have
shit.
a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez. Then she gets on the stand and she admits she did have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez.
Wait,
she lied.
Yeah, that's first of all, yeah, of course, that's fucking embarrassing for her to.
But that's important.
That doesn't make her inconsistent in regards to whether or not she got shot, bro. What the fuck?
It absolutely is an important fact. However, because
what?
Yes,
that's insane.
All right,
you see what I mean when I'm talking about he doesn't view the big picture. He's just looking at it. Doesn't make her not credible on the fact of her getting shot. He's like making it seem like, all right, well, so you're saying because she lied, she didn't get shot? Nobody's saying that. They're just saying there's inconsistency in her stories, which therefore hinders and hurts her credibility. And he cannot fathom or understand why that you would look at it that way, which is crazy to me because you just take it into your real life situation. If you had somebody that told you a lie and you found out it was a lie, regardless if they were embarrassed or ashamed or whatever, and then they had another situation, they told you something and it was a lie, you found out it was a lie, you would be like, this motherfucker might be a liar. And I can't take everything they say with face value. That is just normal fucking ways of looking at the situation. And he's acting like this is impossible. Impossible for her to be lying about something and now omitting certain things. And even on the stand, like she omitted stuff. So I don't know, man. He drives me crazy, man. He fucking drives me crazy.
Are you gonna let me finish?
This is a
or are you just
private
gonna react
affair that she
emotionally?
probably felt fucking really embarrassed by because she fucked the dude who was like 5'2" and shot her.
Okay, the point here, bro, is
Who
that
wasn't even
the
bluffing.
Another attack
stemmed
If she
from
fucked
Tory
Drake,
Lanez.
she'd probably talk about it all the time, but she
Let me
fucked
finish
Tory
my point.
Lanez.
Let me finish my point. The reason why that is material is because when Tory Lanez exposed Meg for having sex with not only him but Kelsey, and he
Bro,
exposed
that's
the
not an
fact
expose.
that
What you're talking about is like TMZ shit. While you're talking about a
See
fucking
how you don't
criminal
get it?
court
that's the
case. Like,
entire
what the fuck?
reason they fought, dude. I'm
Yeah.
trying to explain that to you. It is an important factor.
But
She lied
she's
about
the
that.
victim.
That
You're
does not
literally
change the fact.
talking about a victim
does not
and
change the
making it
fact.
seem as though the victim is like the actual criminal. She's not on
The
trial, bro.
victim
What the
still
fuck?
has a
It doesn't
responsibility
matter what
to
she
be
said about whether
truthful.
she fucked Tory Lanez
The
or not.
victim must
You
be.
see how he just doesn't understand what what Myron is trying to explain to him? Okay, the defense's job is to create reasonable to create alternative storylines that could be reasonable and believable that someone else possibly could have committed the crime. Somebody else had motive to commit this crime, right? You're giving them reasonable doubt. Basically, what Myron is trying to explain once again is, hey, look, her sexual past was the reason why they fought, which then gives Kelsey motive to potentially or possibly be the actual person who shot her. And Hassan is like, why are we talking about her sexual history? Why are we trying to expose her? This is not TMZ. I don't understand. It has nothing to do with anything. It makes no sense. Why are we doing this? That's what, like, because he, like I said, he's looking at like they're over here like slut shaming her and shit. No, they're giving reasons to why somebody else had a motive to fucking shoot her. That's it. And this dude is acting like he can't grasp that concept. It's fucking crazy to me.
The sequence of events that lead up to a shooting does not matter.
Bro,
credibility.
of course the events that lead up to a shooting matter, but it is fucking
That's
insane that you think this is a good case. Of course Tory Lanez went to jail.
Hassan, you're being
because
emotional right
you
now.
think that that's a good enough defense.
Hassan, you're being
Holy
emotional
fuck.
right now. Let me finish my point before you go crazy and just.
I think Hassan also has a problem because he thinks that like the defense, you have to prove that you didn't do it. That's not the job of the defense. We just need to prove that there's a possibility that somebody else could have done it, and then the prosecution has to prove that he did it. And I think that's where he has an issue because he's sitting here thinking like, oh, so that right now tells you that Tory Lanez didn't do it? No, that's not what they're saying. But they're creating reasonable doubt and creating an alternative story that could possibly be the truth, worth investigating.
React versus actually listening to what I'm saying. What I am saying is that she is not a credible witness because she lied in a public interview saying she did not have sex with Tory Lanez. Now, before you get outraged, the reason why let me finish. The reason why that is extremely important is because the entire fight is predicated on the fact that she had sex with Tory Lanez because she backstabbed her friend Kelsey. Kelsey went to Texas because she had COVID, and Meg Thee Stallion started a sexual relationship with Tory. That is why the fight ensued in the first place. That instance
but
caused
you
Kelsey
know
and
what?
Meg
You
to
know what?
fight each
She
other.
still got
So it's
shot
important.
by Tory
See,
Lanez.
oh my
That
God.
Here's the thing. She
So-
has to be credible and
She
be
still got
honest.
shot.
She was not
Bro, you
honest
didn't
about that.
contact.
No, that part doesn't matter.
It
That
does
part
matter.
You
It
can
does matter.
fucking make an argument is like a matter of personal privacy.
See what I'm saying?
So of course,
This is what he's
she
saying.
said-
He's like, he's really focused on the fact that, oh, we're outing her sexual past. No, and then he has to say that it doesn't matter. I'm so happy this man isn't a lawyer or a legal correspondent, because fuck that. I wouldn't want him representing me. He's trying to say that this events is possible motive for why Kelsey would shoot Meg Thee Stallion doesn't fucking matter. We shouldn't shame her for her sexual past. What are we talking about here? This is crazy to me. This don't make no fucking sense. Like, this dude gets paid to talk about shit. It's crazy to me.
saying in public, in a fucking interview in public, when she's embarrassed to admit that she fucked Tory Lanez because he wasn't even popping. Okay,
Once
But
again,
that's
attacks
the point I'm
again.
trying to make.
entirely
Hassan.
irrelevant. Like that's not something
She
you
shouldn't have done
that
the
is
interview
reason
then.
Why she
That
shouldn't
is
have
the
done the
reason why you
interview? That's the reason why Tory Lanez lost, by the way, because that's what the argument the defense made. Okay, as though that was like a serious way to fucking defend this person.
Bro, she wasn't
like,
embarrassed.
that's not.
There's a picture of Tory and Meg Thee Stallion bent over with Tory. She's not embarrassed, bro. That's cap. So that argument is flawed. She's not embarrassed at all.
No,
bro.
I think she's well. You know, you do things, and then you might be embarrassed by them afterwards. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
Hassan, that's cool. But the point I'm trying to make is that you cannot argue the point that her having sex with Tory is not a part of the case. That's very important because that's what led to the entire argument and
I
the
know
fight.
public interviews and saying something in a public interview, especially when it's like, you know, the person who shot you, and being embarrassed to admit that you
Hassan,
fucked that person.
Did
is
Megan
totally
Thee
valid, in
Stallion
my opinion.
lie? Yes or
And
no?
Also,
Did Meg Thee Stallion lie? Yes or no?
about what?
Did
Oh
she
my
lie
God,
about her?
bro.
I guess she did. Who gives
Okay,
a fuck? What do you mean?
that-
I'm saying, who gives a fuck? She got shot.
So she lied. So
You
that
see how
in
his
itself
argument is? She got
hurts
shot.
Her
Bro, you can't-
credibility
of
in a
course.
court of law.
Who cares if she lied? She got shot. Like, that makes it okay. No, man, that's not how the shit works.
That's
Credibility.
crazy. That's crazy.
does.
It's like, no, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say here.
Please.
Okay, I'm
Go
gonna say this again.
Sure.
What she said in the media, okay, is completely irrelevant, especially because it does not pertain to the one-to-one immediate fucking back and forth that occurred that night. Okay, it's not like she fucking lied about. She ever said like Kelsey actually shot me and then went back. If she had said that, then you have something. But her saying I
makes
never
no
fucked
fucking
Tory
sense
Lanez,
what he's saying.
he's 5'2", and he's got no fucking hits since 2016. That's irrelevant. That's not relevant to the subject matter at all.
But
I know you want to make it relevant to the subject
relevant,
matter,
though.
but she didn't actually lie about any of the fucking information. The first time she actually made a statement, okay, to
That's
the cops
wild.
was still to defend Tory Lanez, to say that she stepped on glass, even though that was not the case.
That was a lie too.
You get that, right?
Yeah, that was a lie
You
as
get
well.
that. Yeah, of course that was, and she admitted that. She admitted she lied.
So what you're missing here is that when
That
you
is
lie,
more relevant. That
that
is more relevant
hurts-
to the case
No,
originally.
her
but
credibility
it
is
doesn't matter
relevant.
because she also
lied
because she
multiple
also
times.
mentioned why she did that. She also mentioned why she did that. Ultimately, it doesn't matter though, because if she's lying about that, if she's originally defending Tory Lanez, right? If she's originally defending Tory Lanez, okay, why did she turn around and blame Tory Lanez afterwards? What do you think happened there?
well,
Do you think it
that'll
was
mess
because
this
a
all
criminal
up, huh?
investigation was launched and then she had to fucking tell the truth? Despite the fact that knowing full well that there would be dudes like you that will come after her and be like, oh, she's a fucking liar, even though she got shot. Did she even actually get
What is
shot? Who knows? Yada, yada, yada. Like,
here's the thing, bro.
probably she didn't want to rock the boat. She wants to do PR.
Bro.
She's popping off. She doesn't want this kind of fucking attention, which she admitted time and time again.
That
she
does
didn't want
not
this kind
absolve
attention
her of
because
her
she knew she was gonna get
responsibility
fucked over.
to be truthful. That does not absolve her of her responsibility to be truthful, especially when she is the prosecution's witness. She shouldn't have given all these
Can I ask
interviews,
you a question?
etc.
I have another question for you.
Her credibility
Is Megan,
very
is Megan
important,
Thee
and she
Stallion a
lost it.
rapper?
Yes, she is a rapper.
Okay, maybe she wanted to fucking tell, maybe she didn't want to snitch because she's a rapper. Just like you said, Tory Lanez didn't want to snitch because he's a rapper. I think one is more valid than the other.
No, she already snitched.
She already snitched. What are you talking about?
It's too late. She already snitched.
And
Yeah,
and
I'm
female
saying
rappers.
See, this is the thing that I don't understand. Well, this is what I do understand. He don't know shit about hip hop because it's completely fucking different. Okay, if you 9 times out of 10, male rappers rap about being gangsters, being hard, being thugs, and being all this shit and living the street code. This is why snitching for them is such a big fucking deal. When 9 times out of 10 women rappers are talking about popping that ass and giving head and eating them out and shit and all that stuff, that has nothing to do with street code. So a woman talking to the cops is not gonna be looked as the same as a male talking to the cops because you claimed you lived that fucking life. And he's trying to play it like, oh, well, y'all said that Tory Lanez ain't called Kelsey name because he can't snitch. But then that's why Meg Thee Stallion didn't call Tory's name because she can't snitch, right? That's what the logic behind it. But it's two different things. Yes, I do believe that she was trying to protect Tory, possibly, or her friend. Like either one. We don't know which one she was trying to protect. Her not naming Tory immediately doesn't mean she was trying to protect him. That could be she was protecting her friend. Because after the shooting happened, they were still friends. They stopped being friends because Kelsey kept hanging out with Tory Lanez after the fact. That's why they stopped being friends. So she could have just kept it to herself for a lot of different reasons, then got mad and decided, fuck it, we about to get it on.
Rappers are
She
not
was
held
like,
to the
"I don't
same
wanna
standards.
snitch 'cause I'm a
Female
rapper."
rappers are not held to the
That's
same
probably
street
why.
ethics and codes that male rappers are. Nice try though.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, that makes sense. That's just male rapper code. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Bro, come on. You argue like a 14-year-old Myron. Like, what do you
See
mean?
what I'm saying? This
in
is crazy.
In my worldview, only male rappers have that snitch code. So there's a double
That's the
standard
truth,
there.
bro.
Facts,
God
bro.
this
has
is facts.
practiced the stick so good.
Come on,
This is facts.
dude. I mean, come on. I told you guys if the roles were reversed, I would 100% have the exact same fucking take. Okay, if Megan Thee Stallion
I
shot
doubt it.
Tory Lanez and the other party involved there was like, "Yo, Megan Thee Stallion shot fucking Tory Lanez," I wouldn't turn around and be like, let's look into this a little bit further. Let's be more skeptical of the narrative here. Like that's crazy.
Hassan,
It's like you don't ever get an open and shut.
All right, let's move forward a little
keep
bit.
trying
Yes,
to
it
go
does.
ahead
You
off
can't
of
just
the
say it
police
doesn't
interview.
matter. Of
She
course it
admitted,
matters.
yo, Hassan, here are the facts, okay? She went in, she gave the police a statement in September of 2022, 2 years after the fact, and she went ahead and implicated Tory as the shooter. She went and corroborated a lot of Meg's story and said all this stuff to pin it on Tory. She gets on the stand, switches her story, says straight up, I lied. And then they asked, why did you lie? And she says, because to protect myself. And she kept
No, she
repeating,
never said like
to
straight
protect
up I
myself.
lied. When you say that, you're making it seem like
See what I'm saying? Like he's like, she said that I did not tell the truth in my original interview. That's the same thing as saying I lied. Is it like what? I didn't tell the truth. I lied. What's the difference? Like, he didn't say she said this verbatim, but he's saying that she gave out the information that she fucking lied on her original interview. That's like, come on, man.
seemed like every part of her testimony was incorrect.
She
which got
said she
immunity to
lied in the
clarify
interview.
for and still refused to do so.
No,
so
bro.
you're
She openly
No,
said,
you're playing-
I lied in that interview earlier with the police. There were lies in
I
it.
know, but there's
Then
multiple facets to that
asked her.
conversation.
Then they
She's not
asked her.
directly pinpointing a singular piece of information that she said was incorrect.
That is an actual fact. First fact that this motherfucker said, but he's choosing to believe that the part that she did tell the truth was when she said that Tory shot him. Okay? But if that's the case, and this is just devil's advocate, if that's the fucking case, if she was telling the truth about Tory shooting her, Megan, then why, when she was on the stand, would she not just say that part? But she didn't. She refused to name him as the shooter when she was asked that question. So therefore, now I can infer that, oh, she must have been lying about that part, because if that was true and you have immunity, why not just say it? I don't know.
Yo,
Okay.
do you realize how ridiculous you sound if someone is
Well,
saying
of
that
course,
they lied?
because
You know,
okay,
someone
if
said they
someone
lied.
says, you
Oh,
know,
said they
apples are red,
Wait,
okay,
no.
and then they say the sky is green in that
Yeah.
interview, okay,
not,
and then they turn around and testify and say, actually,
Admitting-
I lied about that interview. Does that mean apples are not red?
See, and now this is where I wish that academics or Myron would have said, okay, that's what happened. You said apples are red, the sky is green, and then you said you lied in that last interview, and then I come to you in court and I ask you, are apples red? You would answer, yeah, apples are red. Now I know that, okay, you lied about the sky being green, right? Like, I wish you would have asked that. Okay, and then if I would have asked you in a court of law, hey, are apples red? You would have been like, yeah, apples are red. You wouldn't be like, I plead the fifth. Fifth? Or I didn't see apples. I haven't seen apples. Come on, man. I wish I would have asked him that.
Oh, you don't get what I'm saying. If I said I lied about something, no matter what I lied about,
and she didn't even say she lied about something. She said that it was inconsistent with.
She didn't say
even
inconsistent.
Okay, let's go with that.
She said I wasn't truthful.
You don't think your credibility is now in doubt, brother? You still think that that's a credible thing? You have
She said she was not 100% truthful and was
Truthful.
given immunity so she could
Not
clarify her
inconsistent.
statements, which she refused to do. She did not do that. She also said she
Is it just me or
currently
DJ Academics, man? His stream is like delayed. The video's delayed from his voice and shit. And it kept fucking me up when I was originally watching this shit.
under like a lot of pressure, which is understandable, and ultimately did not reveal any additional information, but she had the opportunity to say what she lied about and change her testimony, which she did not do. So of course, ultimately they used her original testimony.
See, but that's not true because they asked her, did Tory Lanez shoot Meg Thee Stallion? And she said, I didn't see him do that. I didn't see him do any of that or whatever it was. But she did make a statement that contradicted the original statement that she made. So therefore, she did reveal that she lied about some shit. Because in her original statement, she said, I clearly saw Tory Lanez shoot her. I saw that shit. He did that shit. Now she said, I didn't see him do that. That right there is changing your original statement.
Testimony. Okay,
which is incredible because she said that she lied and it wasn't true. Like, bro,
no,
you're missing. You don't understand.
You can't use that. It doesn't work.
And
like
then when
that.
they asked
this is
her,
like evidence that has been gathered. You know, you've built cases before, right? Like this is evidence that's been gathered. You can't just be like, okay, well, I guess we just throw the whole case away. Like that. That's not how this works.
Oh man, bro.
I mean, come on. That's not how this works.
It is exactly how it works because a witness's credibility is everything.
Bro, this is so crazy to me. Like, it gives me a headache. Like, he said that because she changed her testimony on the stand, you use the original interview, and that's the way it works. Like, even when you watch movies, bro, and you have somebody snitch or some shit in the interview room, but then they go on the stand and they refuse to fucking speak, and then, you know, they was like, can I treat this witness as hostile or whatever, and they try to force him to speak. Like, the testimony that they're doing under oath outweighs the original recording, because a lot of people, when they're being investigated or interrogated or whatever, are in fear, say whatever the fuck you want them to say. You could have been in there for 5, 6, 7 hours and you say whatever the hell you want to say. Now, yes, people still get convicted based off of that. 100%. 100%. But she is a witness. She's a witness in this case. I don't know.
That's not
a witness's
I'm
credibility is
shit out of this
everything,
motherfucker.
Hassan. Okay,
Laptop.
and the other thing too, we could talk about the witnesses not being credible. We could talk about the lead detective being under investigation, having giglio issues, and being on admin leave. We could talk about how the police didn't properly secure the area and properly place evidence tags on all the bullet fragments and the blood, and they weren't able to get an actual trajectory of, a path of how Megan walked. We could talk about how Kelsey was sitting in the back seat behind Megan. Megan was sitting in the front seat. Tori was sitting in the back left passenger seat behind the driver. How would he have had time to go ahead and run around the corner, grab the gun, say, yeah, dance, bitch, dance, and then actually shoot her when she was only walking for a few seconds?
Shot from the open door. He shot from the open door of the car.
She said he was standing.
See, that's another.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. There's holes all over the place where there's not necessarily a clear-cut situation. Also, there's discrepancy. Hassan, let me finish. There's discrepancy between what the prosecution said in the opening statements and Meg. And I'll go ahead and I'll read it for you because I went ahead and took some notes on this from before because I've covered
I have another question.
See what he does? I have another question when they're trying to prove something. He does this shit all the time. As soon as Mama's trying to prove something, he goes, I have another question. No, let's finish what the fuck we're talking about first.
Let me finish this before that.
testimony goes, when
Dude,
Lane's,
are you serious? Let me finish my point before you ask your question.
You're trolling,
I
bro.
know,
I'm
but
saying
like,
that there's a
I can't even
discrepancy
get to this. There's like two
because,
statements
bro,
now that I want to fucking talk about.
Hey.
No, we're gonna get this.
I let you speak.
Okay, go ahead.
I actually see the difference between me and you, Hassan, is that I listen to you speak and I understand it. That's why I'm able to refute your
Go
points.
ahead. You're right.
You
I'm
don't do the
sorry. I'm
same.
sorry. Go ahead, please.
So the discrepancy is this. Prosecutor said that Kelsey went to Meg after being shot. Then when Tori ran up to try to attack her, Kelsey got in the middle, fought Tori off, and he grabbed her by the hair. That's why her nail broke and her pendant broke, right? That's what the prosecution said in opening statements.
Yes.
However, Meg said when she got shot, Tori and Kelsey came at her at the same time, and she didn't make any mention of them actually fighting. So that's a huge discrepancy there. Okay?
No, that's not no, that is literally not a discrepancy. She
That
not
literally
revealing that
is
piece of
a
information
discrepancy.
might be for any million different fucking reasons, given the adrenaline-packed circumstance and the fact that she turned around and saw who had the gun. If you're getting shot at and you see who has the fucking gun, who shot you with, okay, who you got shot with, the gun that you got shot with, then obviously like that's what you're hyper focusing on, okay? That is totally understandable.
Bro,
that does
this
not
is
make her
wild.
like
This
a
is so
non-credible
wild that he
witness.
really like
This
believes what he's
standard-
saying right
if
now.
this standard was applied to every single court case, literally no one would get jailed for murder. I hope you understand that.
But you're missing the
There's
point
no
here.
situation.
is that
the
it's not
only thing
clear-cut,
that would be
Hassan. It's not
additional evidence
clear-cut.
on this would be just video footage of Tory Lanez shooting Megan Thee Stallion going dance, bitch, dance. And even then, I feel like you'd probably still defend it.
You're
Now,
missing the
having
point
said
here,
that,
Hassan.
Going back to what I was talking about,
It's not
there are two
conclusive,
instances
is my
that I want
point.
to mention, including the text message that
Dude,
Tory
this is
Lanez
crazy, bro.
sent to Megan Thee Stallion. That was not actually a phone conversation from jail. That was a text message that Tory Lanez actually sent to Megan Thee Stallion saying, I apologize.
Yep.
I'm so sorry how things happen. I can't remember. It was not on a jail phone.
Yeah,
it was
you're right.
not
I saw
actually like a
those
snitch
texts.
situation.
Yeah.
And in that circumstance, you would absolutely fucking say, something like, oh, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe that shit happened, rather than saying, oh, I'm so sorry, Meg. I know you're probably never going to talk to me again, but
See,
I
that part
genuinely
don't make
want
no
you to
sense
know
to me, man.
I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, and I was just too drunk.
Okay.
Nonetheless, shit should have never happened, and I can't change what I did. I just feel horrible. You think after Megan Thee Stallion got shot, you
Okay.
think that like that's a text message that you're sending to a human being? We're talking reason.
Yes, because maybe he believes and feels that because he dropped that information about her fucking everybody that Kelsey was fucking was the direct reason why she got shot. I'm sorry that this happened. I was just too drunk, and it should have never happened. I should have kept my mouth shut. G code, you don't fucking talk about your dick like that anyway. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So that's 100% what he could have been apologizing for.
Reason, okay, within the bounds of reason. You think you're sending that text message to be like, oh man, it's so crazy. I revealed your information, or do you think you'd be like, how crazy was it that Kelsey fucking shot you? Because this is between two parties that are still trying to make amends.
Okay, Hassan, I already addressed this text message when I was going through the evidence. I told you that there's reasons why he could be apologizing. It could have been for him hitting on Kylie Jenner in front of her. It could have been on him getting a fight started between her and her best friend.
Megan Thee Stallion
It
got
could have
shot.
been him.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I
Megan Thee
understand
Stallion got
that.
I feel like
shot.
that's something you would address.
Okay,
first,
I
right?
get that. I get that. But there were so many things that occurred
you get
that night
Okay, good.
that he could be
You get
apologizing
that.
for.
You understand that. Okay, good. I just wanted to mention that because it's not even like completely relevant to the conversation, like I said, because it's not evidence. You can't use this as evidence that like Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion for sure. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because like we're just having a conversation between two guys within like.
See, he says that you can't use it as evidence, and that's because it's so fucking open to interpretation. But it's funny how you're telling them they can't that no, he would only apologize because of he shot her. Otherwise, why wouldn't he say like, damn, it's crazy that Kelsey shot her? But then when they bring up the fact that hey when they bring up the fact that Kelsey did the Fifth Amendment, that could mean that she's going to implicate herself in a possible crime, and they're like, nah, you can't confirm. You can't go to that. You can't. That's not the way you could. That no way. Nah. You know, I don't know. It's crazy to me. It works for him, but it doesn't work for the other way. Sorry, excuse me. I'm gonna skip to this end part of it.
It's hard to like
I'm
get
going
through your
off-
armor a little bit.
I'm
Yeah,
going
because
off
you
what
think
you're
women
saying.
can't lie. That's the problem. That's why you can't
No,
understand
women
this.
of course lie. Women lie all
Okay.
the time. Everyone lies.
Okay.
Human beings are liars. This is a
Yes.
fucking bullshit straw man that everyone's like, oh, you're a SJW. Women can't lie. Of course women can lie. What the fuck do you mean?
Okay, and Megan's lied plenty of times, and I'm saying that the whole case was based on her testimony. You're saying I believe her, but she's lied several times.
Bro, she got shot though. You're like,
This is
Okay,
whole-
but
she
that's
got
okay.
shot
She
though.
doesn't
it's
know
not
who
like
shot
Megan
her.
went and said,
But she
Tory
doesn't
Lanez
know
is
who
doing
shot
tax
her.
evasion.
She
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
know who shot her,
She
though.
fucking-
She doesn't know who shot her. She really doesn't. She
That's
claimed
not
it's Tory, but she
true.
doesn't know.
She does know who shot her. And every single counter that you brought up about like why she didn't name Kelsey is ridiculous. It falls flat on its fucking feet.
She lied in her testimony several times. She did not admit that they got into a physical altercation, which again is very
Just real quick side note on what he just said, that everything that they brought up about Kelsey, he didn't even realize that what he said doesn't make fucking sense, because he said it falls flat on its feet, and I don't know about you, that's how I stand. It's flat on my feet, so that means that it stands. I think he meant flat on its face. That means you fell. You were unsuccessful. But he said, yeah, it falls flat on its feet. Yeah, exactly. So he even knows that Myron's right about this shit. He even knows that he's fucking right.
very important to the story, right? She did not admit that her
Why
Kelsey
is it
fought.
important to the story? You think it was self-defense? You think like Tory Lanez was shot her because like it was self-defense? Is that what
Because
you
if
think?
she doesn't admit that her and Kelsey got into a physical altercation right before the shots were fired, guess what it does? It paints Tory as the probable shooter, and she admitted that from her testimony.
But you're still
She
making
omitted that from her
you're still
testimony.
making the argument that like she somehow has reason to defend Kelsey, even though Kelsey fucking shot her, which is insane. Okay,
Bro,
Yo, you must
like
be
that's
trolling, bro.
insane.
Yo,
If
you
someone
must be trolling,
shoots
bro.
you, if someone shoots you, okay. If someone shoots you, in that situation, I probably fucking tell the cops. Okay,
I
you
get
can call
that.
me a snitch.
Sure.
There are many instances where I am a victim of shit.
Anyways, man, that's all I'm going to review for right now. If you want to see the whole thing, I'll have the link in the description below. There is one thing that they did go over that I wanted to discuss really quickly is when they're sitting there talking about how she waited a whole month to name Tory Lanez, and if it was Kelsey, why wouldn't she name Kelsey? And there was a situation that he just could not grasp the idea or understanding. I believe DJ Academics was trying to paint the picture of what was going on. So, Meg Thee Stallion went online and said, like, basically, well, she went on all these interviews and she wasn't fucking Tory, and all this stuff. And Tory was calling her out and saying, you lying about that. You know what it is, but about whatever, right? And then she got back online talking about, you fool, I'm gonna expose you or whatnot. So what ended up happening was this created a lot of people were giving her hate because it was looking like she was like leaving Tory out to dry and shit, right? So a lot of people were giving her hate, and she was making it about, oh, we're not protecting the black woman, da 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 da. So it became a man versus woman type situation. And now after all this stuff where she was lying about having sex with him and he was calling her out for that shit, now it's created this big mob mentality of she's hanging the black man out to dry, and he's we're not protecting black women. So Academics was saying the reason, a reason that possibly could be why she named Tory Lanez is because if she did name Kelsey, because Hassan's argument was the fact that they were no longer friends, but what Academics was trying to explain to him, the reason why she probably could have named Tory Lanez because it doesn't help her to name Kelsey in the court of public opinion. It was already becoming a situation where everybody was mad at her for painting a picture about Tory Lanez, and then she was building it up of like, I'm a black woman and we don't never protect our black women. Now, if she went out and said that it was Kelsey, she now admits that she's exactly what everybody was saying about her and how she's attacking a black man for no fucking reason. Because if you're letting this whole drama keep up. You're letting this drama keep going, and everybody's like, oh shit, did Tori fucking shot her? Oh shit, she fucking lying about this shit, whatever. And then you name another woman who did it, then you weren't protecting the black men, because that was her argument in the first place. Is she's trying to protect black men like black women do. I'm protecting them. I'm protecting them. I protected him. I protected him. Oh, the whole thing with the Black Lives Matter marches and stuff, and it was right around that time, and I didn't want him to get shot or killed by the cops, and I didn't want to get killed by the cops, whatever. Protecting black men, protecting black men, protecting black men. But then you're allowing this narrative to come out, and it happens to be another woman who actually did the shooting. You look worse. It's going to be even worse for you. The best play would be, oh, fuck, it was Tory. Now everybody who was on Tory's side, now we look like assholes and shit because we weren't protecting black women. Right? That's what he was trying to offer an alternative. This is why she could have possibly named him. That was all. But yes, so I will have the link to this video in the description. It is quite entertaining if you can get past the fact that Hassan is just not that bright in this situation. I know that he's like, I'm not going to take shit away from him because Hassan Piker, he was on the Young Turks. I used to watch them back in the day. He had a lot of good pieces on there that I rocked with, right? So recently, a lot of the stuff he talks about, I don't really give a shit about. We're not on the same side on that, but he does quality work in his lane, the political lane for his side, right? He paints the picture perfectly for the liberal side. And I'm be honest, like I said, for me personally, I'm not super political, but I used to lean more liberal, and now that I've been making myself more aware and forcing myself to actually listen and watch some of these people that I didn't fuck with before, that was Republican side, I'm starting to understand and see some of the things that they see. So I still would say that I'm still a little bit more liberal, but with shit like this is gonna make a motherfucker Republican as fuck right away, right? So, but I like I said, I don't have nothing bad to say about Hassan as far as the outside of this realm, but this realm right here, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Okay, I definitely feel like Myron destroyed him in this debate. I don't think it was close. They did put out a challenge and everything to do another debate, but I don't think it was close. I think Hassan looks stupid. He was saying a lot of dumb things. His only argument was that she got shot, which nobody was debating or fighting. No one said, nah, she ain't get shot, bro. But that was every time he fell back in the corner. What? You don't believe her? She got shot. You know, that was his argument the whole entire time. But yeah, definitely check out the full video. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel and share this video. Leave a comment. You see my other social medias. It's going to also be pinned in the it's also going to be in the description below. I hope y'all have a great day or night wherever it is for you, and please do not do something stupid before my next video.